Hello, welcome to JIBRIN ANGLE on Oweleketv. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, as always, we have Barrister Austin Manta, a very, very senior legal practitioner that I respect, and I really appreciate his legal pedigree. Barrister, once again, thank you for joining us today. And I can see how stressed you are. You're just coming back from the court, and I'm so sorry for stressing you. I appreciate, in fact, I feel honored that you still, even regardless of your tight schedule and how tired you are, you still make out time to be on this show today. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. There is. Let me read this. I think it's on X. Someone, I think my one of my managers forwarded this to me, and I felt the need for us to discuss it as the first of our first topic. It says Nigeria's Bola Tinubu and INEC boss Mahmood Yakubu are nominates. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Nigeria's Bola Tinubu and INEC boss Mahmood Yakubu are nominees in OCCRRP's World Most Corrupt Person 2024. It was won in 2023 by Maria Consuelo Porras, Guatemala's Attorney General. In 2024, we have Bola Tinubu and INEC chairman being the nominees for this award, this unpopular, infamous, and disgraceful, what else, bad name, what useless name can I call it? I don't know, that our president, anyway, not surprising to me. Barrister, what is your take on this?
Well, my take is that it is not surprising to me. We have had organizations, one of them is the Transparency International. That one reports on a country by country basis. This OCCRP is
Individual
on individual by individual basis. In the case of Transparency International, they used to make elaborate reports, country by country. I would very much want to see the parameters and the elaborate report by this OCCRP to get a better idea of the indices and the parameters they used. Having said that,
yeah, go ahead, please.
Having said that, it should not come as something strange or surprising to anybody in Nigeria. Nigeria is awash with corrupt people. In recent past, maybe in the past decade, or slightly more than a decade, 2 decades, Tinubu has been or has become notorious for being humongously wealthy. And his source of wealth has never been credibly disclosed at any point in time. Just like the other controversies on his personal life, his education, and the rest, there is also a source of controversy on his source of wealth. So if what we know, or the idea of his wealth that we know, will not take first, I don't know who else will take first in Nigeria. 22, 23 years of control of the most viable state in Nigeria, and the physical manifestation of the use of that word. We have seen it over the years. He's the godfather of Lagos politics, appointing governors, appointing commissioners, appointing every facet, members of the House of Reps, senators, members of the House of Assembly of Lagos State, then extending that to Southwest State, and even from southwest, extending it to large parts of Nigeria. We have seen the projects that he has done, the hotels, the newspapers, the television stations, the oil companies. This kind of money, if it does not take first, if it is deemed to be corrupt, then I don't know what can come first. So I am not, and I will not be surprised if it takes first. The one that will surprise me will be that of the INEC chairman, Mahmood Yakubu. I don't know how, whether from bribes from politicians, from cornering of money of
Yes, bro.
vote of INEC.
Yes, probably.
How that can take him to come into that list.
Yeah, of course. But so now the name of this organization says it all. That is a definition of what these people are. The corporates, that is the people, the two people, Bola Tinubu and INEC chairman are. It says Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. What else? How else do you, whatever report is coming out, they are going to base their report on their scope of responsibility or their scope of duty or their scope of work. That is what it says. Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. What do you expect? Organized crime, of course, everybody knows that Bola Tinubu falls under organized crime before he became president. You just talked about how mysterious and puzzling his wealth, his source of wealth is. His wealth is shrouded in secrecy in its entirety. No one can actually pinpoint how this man came about or even started building this wealth. Let's say, okay, how he came about it, we know in part. When he became governor, he literally turned the state into his personal private enterprise. That is just it. So Lagos State became a kind of his ATM, and that is the. But before then, how did he start? Where did he? And besides, what business before he started acquiring all this? You listed some names in the oil industry, in estate industry. Before he started acquiring all this wealth, what business did he do? What business was he into? So this is what we are talking about: organized crime. Organized crime, of course, drug peddling, drug dealing. All those ones are organized crime. Of course, we all know that is one of the controversies that surrounds him and his presidency prior to the election, and that is what that same controversy is still ongoing in the United States. With regard to his drug conviction case in the United States. So that is what we are talking about. All those ones are organized. So he obviously falls into that category of organized crime. Now, what's his name? Mahmood. What do you expect? Is that not organized? What do you got? This is a simple layman's language. When something is organized, organized. Organized means a predetermined situation. That is just the reality. Organized means something that was intended to do. And that is just so what Mahmood Yakubu did, the robbery, the rape of democracy, of the so-called democracy, meted on Nigeria and Nigerians in the 2023 election was organized. It was an organized crime. And so that is just the reality. We don't need to read the report of this organization for us to know their assessment. What was the basis, or what were the basis of their assessment? We all know whatever. The name says it all. The name of the organization says it all. And that is just the point. Like you said earlier, it is no surprise for someone like Tinubu's name to be there. But at the same time, it's a surprise that Nigeria's president, we are used to Nigeria being the number one, number two most corrupt in the world. We've had that all over the years. We fell down to number 4 one time. We went up to number 4 and came back again to number 2, behind is it Bangladesh or so. We've never had a situation where we have individuals in government being listed as the most corrupt. Not individuals in government, but Nigeria's number 1 citizen being officially named as the most corrupt person on earth. Barrister, this is infuriating. This is huge enough to call for mass protests on the street. Because we can't have a situation where we have our president, the one leading us, someone that is supposed to lead by example, someone that is the face of Nigeria, someone that is our image, to be a criminal, both in our eyes and in the eyes of the world. It is a shameful thing. It's a disgrace. It's an embarrassment to us. And unfortunately, he is even doing more, perpetrating more acts to entrench his evil and rapacious background. So sad, Barrister.
Well, just like we have all agreed, nobody should be surprised that Tinubu's name should be on any list in terms of number 1 or number 2 when it comes to issues of corruption. This organization, they will do us a world of good if, having said that, they should publish in full, because when you compare, it means you have other people that you have compared against. So it means that if somebody is number 1, there's number 2, there's number 3, there's number 4 in that order. They should help us by listing the people that they have assessed. And for the benefit of Nigerians, if they have assessed 50 Nigerians, let's know who is number 1 and let's know who is the last on the list.
Okay.
So that Nigerians will know.
Okay, Barrister, sorry, because the truth, until now, I've not heard about this name. Like I said, someone just before I came on this show, someone just forwarded this link to me, so I didn't take my time to go through whatever. I just felt we should just talk about it briefly. But digging into, I asked Wikipedia, let me read about this organization, at least briefly, on Wikipedia. The organization, the Wikipedia says the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP, is a global network of investigative journalists with staff on 6 continents. Wow. So it was founded in 2006 to be precise, and specializes in organized crime and corruption. So the founder is Drew Sullivan, and type is NGO, Combat Corruption Crime Prevention. Affiliations: Institute of Non-Profit News, Institute for Non-Profit News, and that's it. So obviously this is not a non-entity organization, Barrister. Even though we did not know it until now, it is not a non-entity organization. It was established 2006, and at least Wikipedia giving us a clear. These guys are present in 6 continents. So it's actually a large organization. They didn't just start today, obviously. So, Barrister.
What I mean is, for instance, if you Google their report on Nigeria, you will not see the report by yourself. I've tried to Google. I heard of the organization before. Actually, it's not today. I saw it in passing. I did not go uh, into their affairs until you brought up the matter. What I'm saying is that if there is a first, there is a second, and there's a last, they should not just stop at saying this is the most corrupt person. They should give us the list of the people they have assessed. And we will now, it will be for the benefit of every country where they operate. If they should do that, let's know it might be that most of those people are not just the president and the INEC chairman, maybe the Senate president, maybe the speaker, maybe ministers, maybe senators and other influential Nigerians will be on the list. They may not be first, they may not be second, but they could be third, fourth, fifth, and sixth in that order. We need to have something like that for the benefit of us in Nigeria. That is what I'm saying. It's a credible, from all indications, it's a credible project that everybody should support. It's a credible project by any kind of indices. We had Transparency International. It did not measure up to the standard we wanted. We don't just want you to say, oh, Nigeria is the most corrupt. It is better if you begin to pinpoint the people who are driving that corruption and not just driving it in the form that it is organized. So if it's organized, definitely there is a group behind it. There are people and powers behind it. They should go forward to make an exposure on those kind of people. We will be happy to have such information.
Yeah, okay. All right. You are right anyway. I think it's just that probably we didn't do our due diligence. Otherwise, I know definitely there's a report to this. My manager was the one who forwarded this to me. I think the fault is mine for not have asked him to go dig out the full report or whatever. But again, that is for you as a lawyer. But honestly, for me, the whole thing is not far-fetched. It's just I don't see I don't doubt this because that of INEC, okay, I can say, okay, we need report to find out what probably they discovered other things about Mahmood Yakubu prior to 2023. Probably the corruption started not now. But that of Tinubu, it's a clear thing now. It's a clear court case that the man is just who he is. It's not a hidden thing. It's no news. It was all over the media. Everything is research and everything they did on him was all over the media. So it is indisputable about that he was a drug peddler. If he's still not a drug peddler, and he was into a whole lot of corruption, including money laundering, and that is just it anyway.